There's a particular guilt that only visits on good days. A raise, a quiet morning, someone loving you well, and your stomach drops like you did something wrong. You don't post the photo. You downplay the win. You pick a fight or forget to answer the message that could change everything. It looks like humility. It moves like sabotage. If you've ever flinched at your own joy, you're not broken. You're loyal to something that kept you alive. Tonight isn't about force-feeding yourself gratitude or pretending the past didn't happen. It's about why happiness can feel dangerous, why the body mistakes joy for disloyalty, and how to build a life where your nervous system doesn't equate better with betrayal. We'll explore survivor guilt, attachment contracts, the upper limit ceiling, and envy's shadow, then practice ways to receive goodness without abandoning where you came from. You don't have to betray anyone to stop betraying yourself. Imagine you finally get the thing you said you wanted. The email lands. The test is negative. The person texts back, "I'm free tonight. I'd love to see you." For 2 minutes, you feel light. Then the audit begins. You think about the friend who hasn't caught a break, the parent who sacrificed so you could try, the sibling who carried the chaos so you could study in the library. Your mind unspools a courtroom of ghosts, each asking, "And what about us?" Suddenly the invitation isn't just dinner. It's a summons to defect from the family you learned to hold with your bare hands. So you pay a tax for feeling good. You delay responses. You rename wins as flukes. You run tiny experiments to prove you're still the same. Spend recklessly, overwork until you're sick. Choose the person who can't choose you back. A part of you believes, if I soften into this, I'll be leaving. And if I leave, I deserve to be punished. Maybe you grew up in a house where joy was rationed like bread. Good things came with strings. Don't brag. Don't change. Nobody likes a show-off. Maybe you learned that thriving makes you a target, so you turned your brightness into a small, safe pilot light. Or maybe you survived something brutal alongside other people, and it feels obscene to be okay while they're not. Happy feels like treason. Miserable feels like home. Tell me, if this is you in the comments, have you ever made yourself a little smaller right when life tried to let you breathe? There are at least 5 converging reasons happiness can feel like betrayal. Think of them as layered loyalties, beautiful in origin, costly when left unexamined. 1. Survivor guilt, when relief feels unfair. If you've endured hardship with others, poverty, illness, neglect, grief, your nervous system pairs safety with togetherness in pain. You didn't just survive, you survived with. So when conditions improve, the body interprets less suffering as less belonging. Guilt rushes in to restore symmetry. It asks you to pay a toll so your good fortune doesn't outpace the tribe. You might underask, overgive, or quietly sabotage momentum because the math feels off. Why me? Why now? Why not them? The impulse is holy in its intent. It tries to keep you connected, but without language, guilt becomes the only ritual you know. 2. Attachment contracts, the rules you never signed but still obey. Families run on contracts, spoken or implied. We don't dream bigger than Dad. We all take care of Mom. We don't talk about our feelings unless someone is dying. Breaking a contract feels like mutiny, even if the contract is killing you. You become the good child, the fixer, the diplomat who translates everyone's moods until your own become a foreign language. When love has been conditional on sameness, difference reads as rejection. So joy, by definition expansive, individuating, becomes evidence that you're leaving the circle. You're not. You're becoming a person, but the old contract bleeds when stretched. 3. The upper limit problem. How much good are you allowed to hold? Many of us have a thermostatic setting for well-being. Hit the ceiling, too much intimacy, too much success, even too much calm, and alarms blare. You'll accidentally miss the deadline after your best week of work, pick a fight the night before a romantic weekend, get sick on vacation. Not because you're weak, but because your body keeps a ledger of how much goodness is safe to receive. If childhood associated attention with danger or spotlight with shame, high temperature feels like burning. You spill some joy so the room cools down. Then you feel safe again and stuck. 4. Envy's shadow. The fear of being envied. We're taught to fear feeling envy. Less discussed is the fear of eliciting envy, the terror that your joy will trigger resentment, attacks, or abandonment. If you grew up around fragile adults or competitive peers, you learn to hide wins to avoid the shiv behind the hug. Don't shine too bright, it makes people weird. And sometimes it did. But here's the quiet theft. Self-dimming to preempt someone else's feelings makes you a lifelong stagehand in your own life. You think you're protecting the relationship. You're erasing the version of you who could have brought something back for everyone. 5. Scarcity. Loyalty. The belief that love runs out if you take a slice. Happiness, as betrayal, often rests on a scarcity script. There's only so much safety, dignity, attention. If I take more, someone else gets less. We learn this in households where adult capacity is thin and siblings triage affection in rotating shifts. We learn it in communities where a few leave and never return. We learn it in cultures that treat joy like a luxury product instead of a vital nutrient. Under scarcity, thriving reads as hoarding. You police your appetite to appear kind. But kindness that requires your non-existence is not kindness. It's self-erasure with good manners. Notice something. Each mechanism protected you. Guilt kept you bonded. Contracts kept chaos predictable. Upper limits kept you from the blast furnace. Hiding wins kept you from sharp glances. Scarcity kept you from starving others. Your body wasn't sabotaging you. It was loving you with the tools it had. That matters because shame can't rewire what shame built. Only gratitude and new practice can. Now let's add 2 less obvious pieces that keep the loop tight. Bonus A. Joy is a memory trigger. If your storyline included, every time I relaxed, something bad happened, then happiness doesn't just feel unfamiliar, it feels like the first step toward loss. Weddings recall fights, birthdays recall absence, promotions recall someone else's envy. Your system pairs joy with pending harm, so it spikes cortisol when you feel good, the way a dog flinches when a hand approaches, even if the hand is gentle this time. You're not allergic to happiness, you're allergic to surprises that once followed it. Bonus B. Meaning got braided with suffering. Many of us derive purpose from enduring. We became useful through crisis. The one who drives, translates, stays late, scans the room. Pain gave us a role and therefore a right to be here. When the pain lifts, the role wobbles. Who am I if I'm not needed? Some people keep bleeding so they can keep belonging. It's not conscious. But until you author new forms of meaning, happiness threatens the identity that kept you anchored. So what now? If your joy feels like treason, you don't fix this with a pep talk. You renegotiate your loyalties, you widen your definitions. You learn to carry goodness without dropping the people who built your hands. Here's a gentle, practical path. Not a hack, a practice. It honors why you tightened. It shows you how to loosen without snapping. Name the loyalties aloud. Write the sentence you've been obeying. If I heal faster than my brother, I'm abandoning him. If I earn more than my mother ever did, I'm shaming her sacrifices. If I let this love feel easy, I'm betraying the version of me who only knew love as work. Say it exactly. Speak to the contract like a person you respect. I see how you kept me safe. I'm ready for an amendment. Amend the contract, don't burn it. Rage can feel liberating, but scorched earth reforms often collapse into relapse. Instead, keep the value, change the method. I will honor my brother not by limping beside him, but by building a path and inviting him when he's ready. I will honor my mother by letting her sacrifice purchase my freedom, not my ceiling. I will honor my younger self by letting today's softness touch her too. Betrayal becomes continuity when you define it that way. Practice calibrated receiving. Don't overwhelm your nervous system with a banquet if it only knows rations. Try teaspoons of good. When someone compliments you, reply with one clean sentence. Thank you, that matters to me. When an opportunity arrives, accept it at 80% speed rather than 0% or 200%. When rest feels like falling, set a 5-minute timer and lie down with your shoes on. Teach the body that goodness can be held in doses that don't flood the room. Install joy anchors. Pair small pleasures with deliberate cues of safety, a phrase, an object, a place. Light the same candle when you let yourself enjoy your coffee. Touch the same stone in your pocket before you open good news. Sit in the same chair to write love or to plan next steps. Anchors turn unpredictable joy into patent joy. Your body learns, this is the part where we're allowed to breathe. Reassign meaning from suffering to stewardship. If usefulness made you real, don't discard it, redirect it. What if your steadiness is most valuable when you're resourced? What if the best gift to the people you love is a nervous system with margin? Let service mean sharing maps instead of bleeding. Let loyalty mean returning with tools, not staying in the pit to prove you care. Create both and rituals. Guilt thrives on binary choices, you or them, happy or loyal. In reality, belonging expands when one person steps toward the light and waves. Build rituals that keep the bridge intact as you step forward. Send part of your first paycheck to the teacher who believed in you. Keep a weekly call with the friend who's struggling, not as penance, but as presence. Celebrate your milestone with a toast that names the village by name. Say, I carry you with me, and then actually carry them. In story, invitation, and investment. Normalize envy without obeying it. When someone bristles, you don't have to dim. You also don't have to gloat. Try this stance. I know good news can be complicated. I care about you. I'm still going to celebrate. If a relationship repeatedly punishes your expansion, that's data, not a verdict on your right to expand. Bless it, boundary it, or leave it. But don't shrink to keep it calm. Raise your upper limit by inches. Set tiny thresholds for how good I can let it be before I freak out. If you can tolerate 2 minutes of feeling proud, go to 3. If you can hold a loving gaze for 5 seconds, go to 8. Track wins in a proof of okayness note, places where joy did not summon catastrophe. The brain needs receipts. Give the past a seat, not the steering wheel. When joy scares the younger parts of you, include them. Put a hand on your chest and say, nothing bad is happening because it's good. You were right to be careful then. I'm steering now. If it helps, picture a long table. Seat the vigilant one, the dutiful one, the fixer, the small pilot light. Pour each a cup. Tell them what today buys. More chairs, more cups, a softer room. Expect relapse and call it learning, not proof. You will pick unnecessary fights on beautiful mornings. You will ghost an email that scares you because it's kind. You will forget to celebrate. When it happens, don't make a religion of failure. Make a map. What set it off? Where could I pause next time? Who can text me, it's safe to like this? Progress is less a staircase than a tide. If this is landing, save the video to come back to the practices. You won't rewire a lifetime of loyalty conflicts in one watch, but you can start renegotiating tonight, kindly, consistently, and with everyone you love in the room. Here's what I hope you take with you. You don't owe your suffering to the people you love. You owe your presence. The story is not, I got out, they didn't. The story is, we found a way to keep our hands linked while I learned how to breathe. Happiness is not a betrayal when it's an offering. Your light isn't a fire that burns the house down. It's a lamp in the window so someone else can see the road. If this felt like a map you needed, subscribe for more. Gentle, honest routes back to yourself, paced for nervous systems that want to be convinced. From ration to harvest, from ceiling to sky, from treason to home.